What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy, and over the weekend we had a movie drop. I completely forgot about this movie until stuff started coming out about it. I had no hope for this movie. I thought this movie was gonna bomb drastically, and it's starting to look like it did. I mean, you don't throw movies onto streaming services because you think they're gonna do well. You throw them on there because you know it's gonna do awful. And what movie am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Peter Pan. Peter Pan and Wendy. Man, gotta love Peter Pan and Wendy. And we'll start here. You know, the trailer got ratioed to heck. Also, some interesting stuff about the trailer. Disney was copyright striking people just for reviewing it. They never copyright people. Never. So they knew how bad this trailer was going to be, but it was so awful, and it brought up all sorts of controversy already, mainly because of the the inclusive Lost Boys, which in fact was kind of sexist, considering the Lost Boys were the Lost Boys, because in the book it was, hey, they're too dumb to be, boys are dumber than girls and they get lost easily. So when you have the Lost Days, it actually is sexist. So hey, what context gives? But you come over to Rotten Tomatoes and critics love it, audiences hate it. Now, you can't always go off of critics loving it, audiences hating it, mainly because there's been some evidence of, yeah, the critics are smart sometimes and they should probably dislike something that came out. What's your blood origin? But it's pretty clear, like, hey, this is Disney. Critics are gonna love it, audiences are gonna hate it. You come over here to IMDb, it's sitting at about, a 4.4 rating. But I am convinced there's some there's some calls that went out primarily because of articles like this. Scroll up, and I should have done that from the beginning. Disney's Peter Pan and Wendy gets review bombed on IMDb. You knew it was going to happen. Every time a Disney property suffers, every time something from Disney takes a hit, and I don't know why I had these on to begin with. I don't have any audio. But it's like magic. Okay, you know this is going to happen. Disney puts it out. Review bombs. No, it's been happening from Netflix, with Witcher Blood Origin, review bombed and things like that. But it really happens in overdrive whenever a Disney property comes out and audiences just don't like it. It's blame the fans, blame people that watched it, just call them trolls and say that they're racist. And I saw Yellow Flash pulled up one article. I couldn't find it, but it was about how Peter Pan fixed the racist old movie and how it improved upon the racist old movie. I kid you not, that was a headline. Couldn't find the article, but I was shocked that they actually did that. Why am I bringing that article up? That shows you how these people view the past. And it's a quote that I think Nerdrotic or maybe Az said it, and then Mahler, of course, took it as well. But they're not passing the torch. They're torching the past. They don't like what came prior. They think it was bad. They think it was awful. That's why with this, they are coming out and saying, hey, we're changing the past to fix how we see the world nowadays, but that's not how you do things. You can't change the past. The past happened. Things happened in the past that we don't really agree with. I mean, Disney has some evidence. I mean, even in Peter Pan, you had this song about the Indians. And Dumbo, you had the crows, but they're charming. You acknowledge that, hey, these are the past. Things were different, but we've moved forward. It is a glimpse of the past to see how far we have come. But they don't want to see where we came from. They just want to jump. They want to ignore the past. They want to get rid of the past because the past was bad, awful, whatever. But they don't want to acknowledge that, hey, we've come so far. Why do anything? But even some of these like review bombs from claims from like the direct from Inside the Magic, Mary Sue. Some of these claims aren't even that bad. But we'll scroll down. They get the old IMDb scores and new IMDb scores. So, it kind of shows you how this magic works. You start putting out their review bombing it to call up the Disney stands. It's black and white. Peter Pan and Wendy was hit by a far lower rating from a non-US audience than the US, with a 3.3 rating internationally compared to 4.3 domestically, something which didn't happen with Disney's other live action remakes. Well, also, people are waking up to this. Disney doesn't have that strong of a grip overseas anymore, and also, like, you blatantly changed the property, and overseas doesn't like that. They're tired of these changes. They want the original. So ratings were also particularly low amongst those over 30, with the age groups appearing to have a far higher ratio of review bombers than those under. Oh yes, the people over 30 who probably have seen the original, interacted with the original, saw this one and said this is garbage, are just review bombing. If it's negative reviews, it's review bombed. They also have our Rotten Tomatoes here, which I laughed because the audience score dropped on the Rotten Tomatoes version. So I like that. Many reviewers have criticized the remake for being over politically correct, including Rotten Tomatoes user Alaya S. They also claimed that Wendy looks 40. Actress Ever Gabar, I don't know, is currently 15, while the character is 12 to 13 in the original book. The actress does look a whole lot older than 15, I'm not gonna lie. Worst attempt at making a movie I have ever seen. Now we're nowhere near the original. Characters look nothing alike, story changed, and Wendy looks 40 years old. Why is it so difficult to just make remakes be remakes and not try to be politically correct or anything like that? I agree. Why do we have to change the past? Why do we have to change up these remakes for a modern audience that does not exist? These modern audiences don't exist. They've never existed. All you do is scare away the legacy fans. I heard Dre talking about this on Roundtable. Shout out to Dre. He's black, by the way. I never knew. Man. The inside joke. But he pointed out, like, legacy fans. Fans that love these properties no matter what, have been around from the beginning. And all these remakes and changes are scaring away the people that made them popular in the first place. Your modern audience doesn't exist. They're not coming here to pay to watch this. They're not coming here to actually watch it. And if they are watching it, they're more than likely stealing it. That's how this stuff goes. That your modern audience doesn't have the money to interact with it, but you don't care because you don't want the original fans. You don't like the original fans. You want to change it all up for your new audience. Come down to this one. That being said, there was some legitimate criticism. Many referred to the remake as boring and called for more original movies from Disney, including Mike F. Another Disney failure. Movie was dull and boring. Terrible casting choices. Disney should focus on putting out original ideas. They remaking and ruining old movies. I've learned to stay away from movies trying to ride on nostalgia. I agree. I think outside of one of these, because I read one, for the most part, these were all legitimate claims, but just because they were negative claims, it's immediately review bomb. Come over here to Inside the Magic. Peter Pan and Wendy review bombed for being charmless and politically correct. Yeah, and you read some of these things. I agree, though. I've never been bored by Peter Pan before, wrote Rotten Tomatoes user Rick S. Drab, plotting, charmless. User KDS agreed, writing their very definition of mediocrity. The VFX are painful to look at. How did this movie cost hundreds of millions in production? I'm sure I don't know. Other users took issue with the plot changes that they demand unnecessary, such as adding female members to the Lost Boys. Disney is done, wrote user Ramen A. What happened to this company? They turned Lost Boys into Lost Girls. It was the Lost Boys because girls weren't too dumb to get lost. Apparently the girls are now dumb, as well. Whatever. Again, a point, like, you guys changed the story drastically and people don't like it. It's not a shock. This happens, and of course, when it's something negative, they have to say it's review bombed. And when it's something positive in the form of Mario, good example, they say the Mario movie's bad because it services the fans. While in the converse, you're seeing what happens when you ignore the fans. When you don't acknowledge the fans, don't give the fans what they want, they fight back. They don't like it. They hate it. And I wish more people would get to know this. I wish companies would get to know this sooner. But hey, I guess I'm here to watch them all sink down and go away. But let me know what you guys think of the video down below in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm almost to 1K. I'm like 40 some subs away. So please, it would mean the world to me to press that like button, that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.